Hey, welcome to Craft Central Designs and to Christmas in July. I'm sharing with you today another bow making tutorial using Christmas ribbons. The addition of a beautiful bow to Christmas decor is, in my opinion, paramount and the quintessential element to wreaths, swags, signs, Christmas trees, mailboxes, staircase banisters, railings, light poles, gift boxes, and on and on and on. From whimsical to traditional to elegant, a beautiful bow wonderfully embellishes Christmas decor, and the skill of making bows is a fabulous one to possess. Therefore, today, I hope to inspire you to develop your bow making skills. Welcome back to my current subscribers, and welcome to all visiting my channel today. I hope you will consider subscribing, give my video a thumbs up, and leave your comments. Okay, let's get busy making this beautiful Christmas bow. So, just to look at the basic construction of this bow, we're going to be doing a mixed ribbon bow, actually a triple ribbon mixed bow today. And I'm just showing you the various layers from the base all the way to the top tier. There's 3 layers of bows. And as well, you can see the tails. And I just placed it on this simple grapevine wreath just to show you how this bow will look sitting on a wreath. There are, of course, so many variations on this bow as far as size, number of loops, types of ribbon. It's just endless, the possibilities. So I have here 3 different types of Christmas ribbon: pipe cleaners and a pair of scissors. Hobby Lobby, Michaels, craftoutlet.com, Amazon, so many sources. Oh my goodness, there's a few little bites out of that ribbon spool. I wonder how that happened. Maybe it was a puppy named Savannah last holiday season. I just happened to discover that when I took my ribbons out. Anyway, so no problem finding a vast array of different types of ribbon out there. Everything from burlap to whimsical ribbons, printed ribbons, just all types of materials of ribbons. But one thing I'm going to tell you for sure, make sure that your ribbons that you make your bows with are wired ribbons. So we're going to start the base of this bow with this polka dot ribbon. This is actually a great ribbon for a Grinch theme. However, that's not what I'm doing today. I'm just doing a simple triple ribbon bow today. So you're going to determine firstly how long you want the tail of your bow to be. Now that's in accordance to the type of project that you're doing. For this, I'm just placing it on a wreath. So I just chose my tail to be, I want to say, about 8 inches long. Now the first loop of your bow is going to be determined by also what you are placing that bow on. Is it a wreath? Is it a mailbox? Is it a staircase banister? So you're going to determine that by holding that loop up to the project that you're doing and determine if it's going to cover the type of space that you would like for it to cover. Now I use the fold over and twist method of doing my bows. I am doing a 3 loop on each side or 6 loops all together on this base. I fold my ribbons over, making sure that I'm matching up the size of my loops with the previous loop, and all the while I am holding very tightly and pinching my ribbons in the middle by my index finger and my thumb, as you can see there. I twist my ribbon each time before I fold it over so that I always have the correct side or the right side of the ribbon up on my loops. I currently, right there, have 2 loops on each side. I'm counting them out for you. Now I'm going to do my 3rd loop on the left side. So I twist my ribbon, keeping that nice tight pinch as I'm showing you there, fold it over, make sure my loops are matching up in size, and I catch it with my thumb and my index finger and hold it very tightly there. Now I have 3 loops on one side and 2 loops on the other. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to twist and fold my loop over, again matching up the size of the loops. Place it underneath my thumb there, pinch it tightly. Now I have 3 loops on each side, and this is going to be the base of this particular bow that I'm making. And what we're going to do is take a pipe cleaner. Actually, on the base, you could go ahead and cut a pipe cleaner in half. I'm going to place it right over the top of my thumb. Bring it around the back. Now this is going to take the place of that pinch with my index finger and my thumb. I'm going to go around the back, give it a nice tight twist there, and now my loops are all secure. I form my loops just a little bit, and I bring the tail down to meet it up with the other tail that I started with. Cut that off from the spool. We can finish off our tails later. Now I just do a little shaping of the bow. I spread my fingers out. I tug on the loops a little bit, as you can see there. And I spread those loops out. Take a look at my base, make sure it looks like I want it to. And I have my tails. Now, depending again on the type of project, your tails will be the length in accordance to the project that you're working on. Now, for the second tier of my bow, I'm going to do that exactly the same way as I did my base. I always like to add a strong element of red in my Christmas bows. So I chose this one because I love the varied colors, the red with the white. I love to mix my patterns in my bows. And this is a true statement of how I love to do that. This bow has 3 very different patterns. I'm going to twist my ribbon, fold over my loop, catch it in the middle with my thumb and my index finger. Now I make these loops pretty much the same size as the base loops size. Now I don't measure out my loops as far as the length of the ribbon. I do everything by eyeballing it. And honestly, this is really a great method of doing it because you can always just hold your bow up to your project and see if you have the right size loops. So now I'm doing loop number 3 on the left side. I'm going to pinch it in the middle, hold it tightly with my index finger and my thumb, matching up those loop sizes visually just by eyeballing it. And now I have 2 loops on the other side, and I'm going to twist that ribbon. Always want to be sure that the good side of my ribbon is facing me or facing up. Fold it over. This is loop number 3 on the other side. Pinch it tightly. And here we have 3 loops on each side. This is a beautiful ribbon. Then I take the other half of that pipe cleaner, holding those loops together tightly until I have that very secure with my pipe cleaner. Twist it in the back, making sure that's nice and tight and secure. Bring that tail down, marry it up with the other tail, and you're going to cut that one off at the spool, just like you did the base bow. There, that's beautiful. That's layer number 2. All finished. That's going to sit right on top of that pretty polka dot, glittery polka dot base. Very pretty. All right, now we're going to take the striped glitter ribbon. There's a little defect in there. It seems to be from a certain puppy chewing on my ribbon bolt. Savannah, my dog, she loves to get into my craft items. She's a little older now. These are ribbons from last year. Hopefully she will be a little more controlled this holiday season. Okay, now we're going to do the top tier. Now, I'm going to do this exactly the same way, only I'm going to do 2 loops on each side. This is just the particular bow that I'm making. If you wanted to do 3, you could. If you wanted to do 1, you could. This is just the bow that I'm choosing to do with you today. Now, I'm going to make the loops, as I said, just a little bit smaller, and I'm going to do 2 loops on each side, making those loops exactly the same way that I did the others. The same technique. Twist your ribbon. Make sure that you have the good side of your ribbon up. Eyeball your loop. Scrunch it right down in the middle and catch it with your thumb and your index finger. And now you have 2 loops on one side, 1 loop on the other. Now we're going to form loop number 2 on the right side. I twisted it so will have the right side of my ribbon up. Scrunch it, stick it under my thumb there, hold it tightly. Now you have 2 loops on each side. Now on this one I'm going to use a full-size pipe cleaner because we have one little extra step for this top tier and I want the extra pipe cleaner. So I place that over the center. Keep all of your loops tight and secure until you have, I'm pointing that out there, until you have that completely secured in the back. Give it a couple of good twists. Okay, so now what we're going to do is create a loop right down the center of that bow. Give it a twist, right side of the ribbon up. What we're going to be doing is simply folding the ribbon under and tuck it in the center and catch it with my thumb. Now watch how I do this. Turn it under, catch it with my thumb. I'm going to show you this again. Fold it under, tuck it under, scrunch it up there, catch it with my thumb. Do you see me do that with my thumb? See my thumb there? Now I have a hold of that loop. And I'm going to show you from the other side. See my finger, an index finger and thumb in there? I'm holding that tightly, showing you there my fingers. Now we're going to take a pipe cleaner from the back that you used to secure those loops, stick it right through the center of that loop. See? Now that's going to enable me to secure that loop on the top. I also call it the button. Scrunch that up inside of there. Bring the pipe cleaner around the back, and again, give it a twist. And detach it from the spool. Now, what you're going to have is that one tail on top and one tail on the bottom. So we have to figure out how are we going to marry up those tails. And it's very simple. There's your button. Okay. Now we have that tail coming out the top. So what we're going to do is take that tail and feed it right through the button. Now when you cut that tail off, you want to try and get it close to the size of the tail on the bottom, the tail that you started with. We're going to pull that through. And that's nice and secure now. You don't have to do anything else. That tail will just remain there. And cut that off. Now I need enough pipe cleaner on the back of there to wrap it around the two other layers of bows. So if I have enough, which I don't think I do there, so I'm just going to trim that off if you feel that it's not enough to wrap around those other layers. So I just trimmed mine off, and I'll just use one long pipe cleaner because I want enough of the pipe cleaner in the back to attach it to a wreath or whatever the case may be, a swag or whatever it is wherever it is you're placing these bows. Okay, so we have the base layer here, and I have my two tails. Now I separate my tails. See how it's separated in between my hand there? And I'm going to do the same with this one. I don't want any pipe cleaners to be sticking up and keeping me from really pressing together those bow layers. I want a nice tight fit. So I trim my pipe cleaners off in the back, and now you can't really see or tell, but my fingers are pressing very firmly right down the center of those bow layers because I want that nice and snug. And I'm pointing that out to you there. I divide my tails down the middle, as you can see there. Now I'm going to put on the top tier of that bow. And I'm going to press it down very, very firmly. Separate my tails. See me doing that there? Because the pipe cleaner is going to go right down the center of those tails and right through that button or that center loop. And I bring my thumb up in there and press it really, really, really tight. So as I said, I want everything very snug. No spaces between those layers of bows. Now I'm going to take that pipe cleaner, stick it right down the middle as I'm showing you there. Bring it around the back. Don't let go of anything yet. Just hold it really, really tight. Bring it around the back, and you're going to give a few good twists. Now this, there should be some excess pipe cleaner there because you used a new pipe cleaner, a long pipe cleaner, and you should be able to attach it to any decor piece that you're doing. And now's the fun part. You get to shape your loops. I spread my fingers. I tug on my loops just to get everything just the way I want it. And this is the fun part because you can see how your bow came together and how beautiful those layers of bows look together with the mixed patterns and the colors. This is a pretty one. This would go well in a Grinch theme wreath. Okay, so now the way that I trim my tails is I generally make my bottom base bow, the tails a little bit longer, and then I graduate the length of the tails as I go up, if that makes sense. So the second layer of tails would be a little bit shorter than the base, and then the top would be the shortest tail. This is the way I do it, but you do you. You can cut your tails any way you like. You can dovetail them. You can do whatever you like. You can coil them, leave them long. That's a beautiful look on a staircase banister, to have those coiled, trailing tails. Oh, I love Christmas decor. Also looks pretty to have tails on a mailbox. There's just so many ways in which you can adorn a Christmas decor piece with a beautiful bow. And here we have all of our layers put together, and we have a simply beautiful bow. And again, there is just so many types of ribbon out there. The possibilities are absolutely endless, what you can do with a gorgeous bow. So pretty. Now, I'm going to show you how to coil your tails if you choose to have long tails on whatever decor you're doing. You can actually add tails if you need to in the end, but just by pinching your ribbon, adding a little piece of pipe cleaner, and then just hot gluing those tails right up underneath the loops of your bow. I've added tails many times. Also, this is a great way to do tails on your Christmas tree. So just take a paper towel holder, wrap your ribbon around it, as long as your tails are, and then just give it a little gentle squeeze with your hand like so. And this is a great way to coil your ribbons for your Christmas tree. And don't forget to do the ends, however you choose, angled or dovetailed. And this bow can be made in so many variations: mixed ribbons of various patterns and textures, number of loops, cascading coils, just endless possibilities. I hope you will try this bow technique. Let me know how it goes for you. Please consider subscribing and give me a thumbs up. Until next time, you take care and watch for the many Christmas decor tutorials I have in store for you. A few more will be coming up for Christmas in July, but around fall, oh my goodness, I have so much I'm excited to show you. You all take care.